Some of you may or may not know that over this past weekend, Reverend Karen Fry went with 400 plus faith leaders to El Paso, Texas. She was there Sunday night and Monday, and they were there to minister to the children and the people in the detention centers there in El Paso. They were not permitted in. They were not permitted to pray. And so they prayed outside of the detention center. And there will be another call sometime in August if you choose to participate. There will also be a compassion walk September 21st here in Dallas. And we were going to light the candle for all of those who are in those detention centers for their blessing and for their receiving what they need and for their wellness. But you know it's happened in the last 24 hours, right? So we had a shooting in El Paso in Walmart, 20 people killed. And in the middle of the night, we had another shooting in Dayton, Ohio, in a considered a safe part of downtown Dayton. And right now they're saying 9 people were killed in that. I want to make a huge shout out to the police officers, first responders. If the police officers hadn't been there so quickly in Dayton, Ohio, it would have been much, much, much worse. And there was a military gentleman in El Paso who risked his life to protect and save some of the children in the Walmart, although there were children that were gunned down in that event. And so, what shall we light our candle for today? All of the above. Or maybe we won't light the candle at all. So, today we light the candle for possibility. We'll light the candle for the possibility that it could be different than it is. Because we as human beings and Americans, we are better than this. We light the candle for the possibility that we can imagine that we can live together in harmony. That we truly can live together in a way that honors our differences, that moves without fear in the world. That we can imagine actually finding a way through the complex issues that face us and not knowing, not necessarily being able to figure it out, what there is to do or not to do. So if you would join with me. In this moment, we recognize that there is one power and presence, one life, one infinite source of wisdom, intelligence, and love. We call it God, or we call it the matrix, we call it the force, or we simply call it love of the universe. It is the divine, infinite reality that is expressing through all life, all creation. And therefore it is expressing through each and every one of us, through all people everywhere, through all beings everywhere. And so today, I affirm and declare that we can imagine solutions, that we can imagine new ways of being, that we can imagine new ways of behaving, and that as we imagine a life that works, and lives that work for each and every one of us, that the universe says yes. And as we imagine peace, and as we imagine harmony, and as we imagine that there is a way through, the universe says yes. And so we stand together today for wisdom, for intelligence, that it moves in our leaders, that it moves in our people, that it moves in every place, everywhere, that it moves with those who are selling guns, those who are buying guns, that it moves in those who are protecting us, that it moves in those who are seeking safety, that it moves in life itself as it moves in all of creation, that it moves today to a new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness, a new level of understanding that stands firmly in the conviction of our faith and the profound belief that we are one human family. That every life matters. Black, white, Latina, Latino, Asian, Native American, LGBT, heterosexual, rich, poor, and every disabled and able-bodied person, and everything else that we could name. Do we stand in that oneness? We don't just affirm it. We don't just declare it. We don't just accept it. We demand its revelation in some new way that brings about a healing of the social ills and the cultural tearing apart and whatever mental or whatever social illnesses are being presented in these moments, that healing is not only possible, it is here, now. For we are that healing. Because each and every day, we choose. And maybe we be led by the children who always, always know the truth. That life smiles upon them, and we create that smiling and safe place for each and every child, each and every family, each and every life, just as we do right here in this sanctuary. And if you stand with me in this truth, I invite you to say together, and so it is.